Alrighty. There we go. Back up and running. Who do we have in here with us? Seems like I need more coffee. All right. So as we can see, Tesla's pulling us down even more. I expect everybody to follow suit. RMO is something that we have a position in. I've honestly been hoping that it would rebound. All right, Shad, thank you for being here. Who else we got? So, while I wait on everybody to come back, if they're going to, we have restarted our stream. Boom. All right. All right, we got a few of y'all back with us. We're going to go through some trade alerts that we pushed out. That gonna be a tough day. Yes, it is, for a lot of people. And so, I know we pushed this list of trades we're about to look at now were some of the trade alerts we actually pushed out that aren't performing to our liking. And we aren't going to put blame on the market pulling back. We never go in guaranteeing that these stocks are always going to play. We're not always going to be right. But the fact that the market's doing what it's doing is basically causing some of these plays that we expected to work out for us to not. So I want to go over some of them going into market open. Let me get my TD session up. My TOS system up here, so I can be reviewing some of my own trades while the market opens, but I can still spend some time with you guys. Pull my volume up a little bit too. See, it's a little lower than normal. Make sure I'm pulling off the right device. Properties, default. I don't know if that made any difference. Maybe you can hear me a little bit clearer now. Pull my mic a little bit closer to me. So some of these plays have been on the down and out. Some of them we've been waiting to bounce that we pushed out. I'm not sure which positions you may have in them. If we come across a trade that we gave you, please let us know if you have a position in it and the price average that you got in it. I know that you're not always going to be able to get into these positions when we push them out, but I want to go over them and let you know our forecast on them and how we're going to adjust to their current price actions. Naked, of course, broke a key level of 110. We will be closing this alert as we're finding a resistance there now. We alerted on it back here when it was at 189, expecting this return back to the upside. Of course, this was during the short squeeze movement, and we got burned out on a trade. It stuck strong to this trend line and bounced back up actually above those. So hopefully if you had a position in this moving forward, you were able to at least capture some short-term gains right here within that week. But now that it's currently closing, lower market open, let's see how it reacts here. We will be closing naked out today for a loss on our side. GTT is currently trading down because they were preparing for pre-bankruptcy. That's why you saw this price action drop here even with that price action, it broke straight through the support levels, found support about around the 239. They're doing this bankruptcy in order to manage debt. So they're not going out of business. They're just trying to lower some of their debt, and that's what we're seeing right here. No one can expect a company to necessarily announce or be prepared to announce bankruptcy. So we're taking that loss here. We alerted on the stock when it was still at, 383. As you can see, it's at 244, and the stock is currently down 36%. Now, you might hear some of these percentages and wonder how we're okay with taking these types of losses, but if you've been following our trades, you know that some of them, about 10 of them, have been up 200%. About 20 to 25 of them have been more than 50%. So some of these gains aren't hard for us to deal with, as it may be for people that are catching on late. What do I think of ZOM? We can look at ZOM real quick. Arab Gamer, have you been on one of our sessions before? I'm not sure if I've seen you here before. If this is your first time, welcome. We reviewed ZOM earlier in our first live trading session this morning, and it broke that 212 level. And we were looking to find support above the 194, which it gapped down below, and we said that we were going back to the 148. And as you can see, market open, it dropped straight down. This might be a buying opportunity, as it might find support right here, like it's showing signs of doing at the 162. But as of right now, it's pulling back. And I know there's a lot of hype into this stock. A lot of people have been pushing it, but you have to be careful with how hard people are pushing stocks, because things like this can happen all the time, especially when there's a market correction such as what we're watching today. What I do want to do is take a second to see how the SPY is reacting. We can kind of get an idea. We're headed back to that 383 level. Let's see how we react to those levels if it does continue to pull back. Looks like I might be doing some calls on the SPY if it rebounds off this 383. But as you can see, we're having strong gap downs. As of yesterday, today's pre-market, after-hour session and pre-market, and yesterday's pre-market session, and even Friday. I'd like to identify that we had strong gap up on Thursday, and then Friday on Wednesday, of last week, had a pullback on Thursday, and that basically alluded to these gap downs we're seeing. Bitcoin's coming down pretty heavy, but rebounded off of the current support level that it's found here. So these are just plays that I want to point out to you so that you can kind of gauge whatever market you're in. Okay, yeah, I thought I've seen you before. Well, thank you for being here again, regardless. But going into RMO, we're pulling out of the trade for now. As long as Tesla continues to come down, we think it's going to be weighing down on the market. This could be a potential buying opportunity for others. We don't, discredit that or see that as a place to not give the confidence that this stock is going to go back to $24 once the EV market does reverse. Let's see how it plays on the 1295, because that was a previous support level that it found before. And at this point, it could shoot back up. So we could actually miss the opportunity in regaining the losses that we're taking here. We were looking for this to find support last week. We discussed it a little bit more last week, and it is sticking strong to those 648 levels. Of course, it's at 638 right now, breaking below that, but let's see how we react to it moving forward before we make any quick judgments. We were looking for this to go back to 1342 overall when we announced the alert. Outside of that, ONTX is something that we provided last week on Friday, I believe. And it gapped down strong below both support levels that we were hoping to find support on. But as you can see, it rebounded very strongly back to the 121. It's currently down. Let me pull out my sheets. Let me refresh my page too so I can give you the correct percentages that is down. It's going to take a second because so much information is pulling out. Looks like I'll be pulling out some of my calls to put that money elsewhere. DPW is burning me right now. And my March SNDL calls are burning me right now. Although, yeah, it's at 128. So I might pull out altogether and just reallocate my money somewhere else on those calls. with opportunities that we could potentially find in today's trading session. As you can see, ONTX is coming back down a little bit. So I think I'm going to go ahead and close that alert. It's currently down 15%, 5% lower than our 10% threshold. And I will let you know when we stop seeing some of these trades that are below our 10% threshold. VTRS dropped out. I'm trying to do some research on why. We saw this type of price action going into pre-market. I haven't done any DD on it. I want to see what the news is talking about real quick while we have everyone here. Let's see. VTRS. It looks like it was based off of sobering guidance. They gave guidance yesterday that was not very necessarily confidential. So we'll be pulling out of this trade alert for sure. Moving forward, it's currently down 3.92% below our sell threshold. And then G and W actually is next in line. It's down overall 11%, 1% below our threshold. We will probably be getting out of it to find a better entry into it if we believe it's going to come back up. The stocks that we're getting out of today, we will be getting out of, and we will determine which ones we're going to add to our watch list in order to find a potential entry back into them if they show the right momentum signs back to the upside. BBD is actually a longer trade alert that we've had out since December 1st, actually. We alerted on it when it was at 489. It's at 436 right now, so only down 10.84%, and showing signs of trying to recover from those. So potential there. There's a gap to fill. That's why we might not close that out, but it's been so long, I might go ahead and get out of that position. The last stock that is below our 10% threshold is OBLG. And this stock is currently trading at 475. We alerted on it when it was at 558. It's below our sell threshold. We're going to go ahead and get out of it because the momentum is signaling to the downside, continuing moving forward. Everything else on this list is still above our 10% threshold. DSS gap down strong this morning, just like everything else. So at the same time, what we're trying to consider is the fact that the entire stock market is seeing gap downs this morning. So we don't want to freak out and get out of a lot of these stocks simply because of what's going on in the market, because we still have faith in some of these stocks. Based on momentum, we will go through each and every one of these in a little more detail on our own. We're not going to hold you guys up in doing that, but I just want to let you know how we're basically reacting to what's going on today. Today is a great opportunity to find more opportunities, so keep that in mind. Give me a second. I need to make some moves on my side, my own trades. So that's down. Yeah, I'm getting ate up, man. Everybody's getting ate up. That's just what it is. And things like this happen all the time. PVG is teeter-tottering on... where is PVG in this list? PVG is not below our 10% sell threshold. Let me see where we're at. It's only at 633. Now, one thing I do want to be sure that you keep in mind is that's why we provide suggested stop losses for everyone, because we don't want you to find yourself in the position that we're in with some of these trades being down lower than what we're comfortable with. And that's why we put a 5% suggested stop loss to lower risk with a 10% sell threshold. What that basically means is it gives you a 5% cushion between that suggested stop loss to see if the stock could potentially reverse and actually find the yeah, we're down 10K, right? To find a reversal to the upside. So that's something to keep in mind with some of these, and how we play our trades. But I'm not going to go down this entire list. This is for me to do in the rest of the day, to give better guidance on what we think these stocks will do. I do want to look back at the SPY and the fact that it is surging down. We broke the 383 level of support and it's still pushing down. We're at 382.67 after market open. What I'm going to watch for here is whether or not we can see some signals of momentum back to the upside and sticking to the trend that it's in. If we do not, then we expect this to continue back down to the 368 levels, in which we will be placing some puts on the SPY. And I'm looking at, if you're an option trader, I'm looking at maybe 14 days out type trades to capture some of those gains, strong gains to the downside. But as of right now, it looks like we bounced right back above it. So we might stick to this trend line, as you can see. It's currently working to find support. We're back above the 383.12 support level. We were looking to find support on the SPY, but that it's currently oversold on the 5-minute, most likely the 10, the 15, the 30, the 1 hour. So you see that is actually going into oversold status in all of these time frames. You can expect a strong reversal to the upside moving forward. So I'm not sure if I'm actually going to do any puts on the SPY. I might go ahead and do some calls going into this. Let's see. But yeah, a lot of our stuff's down. It's right across the board. Days like this happen. We've had great gains to prepare for things like this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, where are we at? We're back below 383.12. So this is something I think everyone needs to focus on in order to gauge how everything else is going to play out for you. And that is how the SPY is currently trading. And what we're looking for is, what typically happens when you have a pullback is it'll break below this RSI level down here, and bounce back above it, and then break down a little bit lower. So we might see some lower price levels for the SPY going into today, even though it reverts. But right about now is the time that it typically bounces back up. So keep in mind that it might not be the best time to panic sell and get out of this. You ever thought about doing a learning video on options? I've been only trading for less than a year, but I want to learn options. Yes, I have. I've been putting my material together, and I've been putting together some strategies for option trading, so that you can have different ways to play option trading. I utilize options as a way to basically, what I like to find in options is I like to find a stock that is currently in overbought status that I have heavy confidence in. Basically meaning, if it's in overbought status, it's going to pull back. And when it pulls back, I want to do put options on it. And when I do put options on it, I'm making money on the way down. That way I can buy an equity stake on free shares into that stock when it reverses back to the upside, and I can let it go long. So I'm trying to, and then I can take out my put option contract and reverse it to a call option on the way back up in order to make money on the way back up again. And then whatever profits I have at that point, I can stick into that equity stake as long as I know the stock's still going up. So that's a strategy I'm trying to put together. I'm trying to do some tutorial material on, and then have it where it's very easy to understand and utilize for any individual that's interested in options. But as you can see right now, the SPY is currently almost a full dollar below our 383.12 level. And I'm going to focus on the SPY for a majority of this time, because it's gauging the rest of the markets and how that's occurring, what's occurring across the market. So we'll spend a lot of time looking at this. I'm going to go back to our coffee and stock session, and I'm also going to provide you with new potential opportunities that I'm seeing coming across our alert system. For now, we can go ahead and look at some of those. IOR looks to be a very low volume stock. Let's see how we're doing on the daily. So in this situation, it just had a strong breakout, and that's what we're seeing is a consolidation. So I'm going to move past this. I'm not too confident in that stock. So let's see. PDLB, which is a BDL Community Bancorp. It's a bank, financial sector as far as I remember. I'm not sure. I think it was taking a hit about a few weeks ago, so we might be seeing this rebound here. I will take some time to look at liquidity stocks. I want to show you something. That I just saw just looking up. This scanner here basically scans the market and it tells me where the most money is going into trades. And as you can see, of course, Tesla is seeing the most transactions. Now, when I say the most money is going into trades, that's either a buy or a sell. And as you can see, this entire list is red, except for Bank of America. And that's probably because it's not seeing large price action. But the fact that we're seeing strong... Somebody asked me about NEO earlier. I'm not sure if you're here with us still. We can look at NEO. But NEO is currently trading at $42. It was at $56 just the other day, last time I looked at it. And once again, this is all due to the fact that Tesla is getting pulled down. The SPY is pulling back. We're retracing back to the 382 levels on the SPY. I've been trying to let everybody know about that. One thing I do want to point out about the SPY, if I can kind of zoom in here to give you some better visuals, is the fact that I know I got a lot going on with the SPY. I'm constantly trying to track the SPY, so excuse me. Let me pull this out. We're currently at 381 on the SPY. We're currently trading below that 34 EMA, so I expect this to actually bounce to the 377 before I look to buy a call on the reversal. But as of right now, I'm currently looking at potentially buying a put, but I feel like it may be too late. But that depends on the downward action to the downside, and it's pressing down hard. I'm gonna pull our gauges back in here so we can kind of see if we're going to see a reversal into the day based on the RSI, and where it's currently at. And as you can see, it's going down much further than where it normally does. So this could be that retracement that we were referring to. I'm actually going all cash, getting out of my positions to basically lower my risk in this pullback. And then I'll go back into the market as my strategy here, just based off what we've been looking at this morning. Is my strategy here moving forward, to find better entries into the stocks that I had confidence in. You bought in NEO at 38. NEO's currently up $4. I'm not sure how many positions you own on the stock. I'm not sure when you bought in at 38. I'm sure it was far back, as it's been trading between the $54 and $60 levels. I would assume it would probably be back here. And I'm not sure how much you've been following us, but I hope you had been watching Tesla and how its price action is currently dying, essentially. I mean, we're down to 626 on Tesla. Good opportunity to buy calls on Tesla once this all stops to the upside, because you know once Tesla starts showing signs of reversing, it's going to go hard. Everybody thought that Tesla was going to be at 1,000 by April 1st. There was a lot of, and I only say that based on calls put in. I trade price prediction. I base my price prediction based on how people are trading the calls. Let's see if I can pull that up for us. Let me pull this back. There it is. Here's our call section. So, as you can see, you have your open interest column right here on both sides. And where the open interest column comes into play is determining where the sentiment is. So people think that the SPY is coming back to 385. There's been 40,000 calls on this just for February 26th. They think it's going to reverse and come back to the upside. I'm not necessarily saying they're wrong in that. I'm just pointing out the fact that people think that 47,000 trades saying that the SPY is going to go to 380, and it's currently at 380.98. So those put options are basically going to be in the money here shortly. And I'm not sure. I can see. Let me see. I can pull it up where we can see the net change in some of these options, and I'll explain what that means a little bit more. let me do this. Let me do market change or percent change. Let's add percent change to this so we can kind of gauge how much. Look at this. These put options are up 224%. That is nuts. Some of these are up 300%. That's crazy. But the pullback is real. It's happening. We're at 381. We might be seeing a reversal here on the spot. What I'm going to try to do is pull out some of my indicators to just look at the price action. I'm going to pull out this here so I can get some clarity. That's a strong trend line that the SPY has been trading on since March. I'm going to keep that there for the sake of referring to it later. But what I'm seeing with the SPY is we're finding this strong. Let me see if I can identify it. There we go. Strong level of support at the 381. All the lines in purple are the adjustments we made today and the past few days. So I'm going to go back in and change out some of the ones that were already there. I'm looking at the SPY to find support right here. And you can see where the price is correlated before, where the support has been found. Resistance here on this gap down, support there, support right here. So maybe this is our reversal time on the SPY. It's found support strongly since all the way back in January at these levels. It was once strong resistance before. So maybe this is the end of our pullback. So I'm going to go ahead and buy my call options on this. I'm going to buy a call option for 15 days out, probably 13 to 15 days out. And I'm going to look for an area where there's more open interest in the stock. I'm going to make sure this is the right time to buy first. I'm not trying to jump into this too soon because we can have some strong. One thing to keep in mind is this 34 EMA. This can bounce back to that 34 EMA and then reject and come right back down, which is very typical on a downward trend. So let's see what happens there. You see the SPY is coming back up very strongly. Looks like the support level is going to be 380. We're seeing some pullback again. But anyways, what I'm trying to allude to is watch out for that 34 because that can be a burner. And let me do this too. That way we can get some clarity. My volume profile is getting in the way. I want you to be able to see all you can see. I'm going to pull this stuff out. Get rid of all this. Kind of clean up this chart. All right. So, where's my intraday? That's my intra-bar volume profile. Let me pull that out. There we go. Now we have some clarity. MACD showing signs to the upside. We can bounce all the way back up to that 382.50, and we can be trading at this below that current trend line that it's been trading in. So things to watch out for. That 383.12 can be a new level of resistance as well. But like I told you earlier, the SPY typically goes oversold and then rebounds back below. So I might be missing my opportunity to buy my options here. Let me take a second to do that, if you don't mind. Where are we at? Let's see, what can I buy here? I'm going to buy an option for 394, 395, going into March 17th. But I'm not going to place the order just yet because I'm waiting for the right opportunity to buy it. I want to make sure this rejection doesn't occur right here because then I'm stuck if it reverses and continues back to the downside and I miss my opportunity to buy into the trade. So I'm going to pull up. I'm going to have this pulled up and I'm doing it on my screen above me, but I want you to see it real time so you can trade with me. I'm looking at actually, I'm going to look at the March 19th because it's the monthly options. I trade monthly options. I don't do weeklies because they expire. I have a lot of volatility in them. So I said 395. But I'm going to make sure that this is a true reversal first. I know I'm missing money on the way up right now. And as you can see, it's picking up very strong. 10-minute MACD, 5-minute, 10-minute MACD showing reversal signs. But this could be rejected. So I'm not going to get ahead of myself. And that's where I've lost a lot of money, is I get ahead of myself. And I think a lot of people do that. But we've broken trend, as you see. We found support around the 380.96 level, although it dipped below it. It rebounded off of it. That can be confirmed by looking here. And you can actually adjust it to where it, if you want, to where it stopped at. So I'm going to watch the SPY for a minute with you guys, and then we'll go back to the trades that we've been reviewing in coffee and stocks and see how they reacted. I'll go ahead and pull up our watch list here. Just so you can see, I mean, look at this. Only one thing is up right now, and that's AMC. What's the coincidences of that? I mean, it's only at 667, right above that 650 support level that I was identifying before. But that's where it was at pre-pandemic, and that's all it's done is recovered that. It's nothing special to me. But everything's down. NXTD, ONTX, OEG's down 23%, ZOM down 23%. This is, look at this list. I mean, it just continues. Red day, buying opportunity. If the SPY does confirm a true reversal here, should I buy more in, what is that, SNDL? To lower your price average? I never suggest lowering price averages. That's true. I never lower my price average. If I'm gonna buy a trade at the price I buy it at, I buy it there. Now, I'm trying to learn how to be okay with pricing down my price average. But you have to consider the fact that you're putting more money at risk. If you're going to lower your price average, make sure that it's the true reversal and that it confirms that reversal. So, you know, a stock might fall from $16 to $12 and you think, okay, good buying zone. It might pop up to $14 and, you know, it may take popping up to $14 to confirm that the reversal is happening off the 12, if that makes sense. But it could hit that $14 and bounce back down to 10 the next day, gap down. So these are things, it's all about confirmations. Just like I could have bought into the SPY right now. I would have bought into the SPY. If I bought into the SPY like in this area, I only would have went up almost $1. And now we're showing signs of reversing and losing momentum. So this is what I'm waiting for, the right opportunity to buy into it. Versus just jumping ahead of it and thinking that I'm going to miss out on money. As far as making money is getting the money you can make and not being greedy at the same time, where you're risking more money than you can win. I hope that resonates in what I'm trying to say. Bought a little bit of bingo at 9/11, but I ain't gonna bet my savings today. And one thing that I'm trying to do, another strategy I'm working on, is putting in 5% of my portfolio that's dedicated to the alerts we give at Millennial Investments towards each stock. So at 5%, I can have somewhere near 20 stocks over a 20 to 30 day time span. If the market's swinging, then I'm about to buy my calls. But we saw this rejection right here, which was a concern. So let's see if we have that momentum to the upside. You bought in at 9/11 on BNGO. BNGO was trading at, I mean, that's not a bad idea. It looks like a lot of people bought in pretty strong. Good confirmation. Good. Did you buy it before it swung up or down, Champagne? That's the question. Did you buy it on this side of the swing or that side of the swing? If you can answer that for me. Where's the spot? 32. See, we're seeing some rejections here. That's concerning to me. We're potentially going to swing back down to retest that RSI level that I was talking about, Mike. I could be wrong, but I've traded the SPY enough and lost enough money to the SPY. Look at that. Look at that rejection. And I would like to point out that we touched that 34 EMA. Or no, we attempted to. That's the arrows let me know that it's going down. Yep, look at that. Back down we go. Let's see how we react to the 380 if it continues down. I'm not saying it's going to continue down. I'm just saying that the momentum swing is to the downside. Boom. So what this is doing is actually opening up more opportunity for me to spend the same amount of money on a lower strike price on my option. I bought it on the way down. It was a bet. I have to be honest about it. Like I said, we have to, the focus is to confirm that the reversal is true. Champagne. And let me know if am I saying this right? Pascal? Is that how you say your first name? I say your last name because I don't want to mispronounce your first name. Let's see. Let's look at it from a 10-minute point of view. Okay. Mike, you would be right here on the reversal. 30 minutes. Still red on the 30-minute downtrend. 1 hour. I typically trade the spot based on how it's moving in the 1 hour. The fact that there's such a gap between it and the EMA, and this is the 13 EMA, gives me the confidence that it's going to come back up. Missing opportunities to buy into this right now. If that's what's going to occur. But once again, we have to confirm that. If we reject off of this 34, I mean, we're currently green in our MACD. That 34 is still heading down. Let's see how we react to it. If it bounces hard above it, then I'm buying into my call. And that's 395 March 17th, 21 calls. It's currently trading at $181, 182. That gives me 22 days for the market to recover and head back. Pascal. Okay, cool. Great. I just wanted to be sure. I don't like mispronouncing anybody's name. So if I don't know how to pronounce your first name, I will speak to you based on your last name. But we're at 183 on this. And we're about to retest at 34. We could lose all momentum and bounce back down. That's what I'm looking for. The confirmation. 13 swinging up. All right, let's see what happens here. Boom, bounced above it. Let's see if we stay above it. Look at that. Strong movement to the upside. 187 on this option call. Now, let's see what happens. Okay, it's struggling. Okay. It's like fun watching the battle go on, right? It's exciting to watch this in real time with you guys. What we're going to retest now that we're above the 340, here's my confirmation coming. If we get above the 383.12, the fact that my strike price, yeah, right. The fact that my strike price is 395, I need strong confirmation that we're going to break that support level at 383.12. Don't get ahead of yourself on the spot now. It can burn you. Come on. Let's see what's going to happen. I'm ready to see what's happening so I can make my decision in a day. On the reverse side, I'm looking at potential 355 puts on the SPY if we see rejection at this 312. I already have my buy order ready to go for this this call. And you see we're at 303. Let's see what happens here. While we're looking at that, let's see how let's also see how Tesla and Bitcoin are reacting to the markets. Look at that rejection off the 383.12. This is on the 1 minute. This is why these key levels play a part, because you can gauge the market a little bit better. Tesla already back to 663. Of course, that thing jumps $100 in a day, any given day. Strong reversal. Once again, could reject off the 681 though. Look at that rejection. Let's see if we bounce off of the 34 EMA, that middle line there. Look at that. Anytime that goes blue, is letting me know that it's a sharp dive down. So I could have bought a put option right here. I mean, a call option right here. And I could potentially would have got burned. Let's see though. I also have this here where I can gauge a long or short. Look at that rejection. We can do somewhat like some test live, real-time testing. If I would have bought my call option here. Let me pull this back a little bit. Stretch this over here a little bit. Get that out of the way of our price action. Pull this down, and I'm shooting for a 395 call. Now that's $7 above where the trend is showing it could potentially go, but 395 call all the way up here, and I'm gonna put the bottom of this where the support level is. We can track this real time now and how the price is trading. So found strong support off the 34. I'm going forward with my call option. It's currently at 187. I only missed $5 on that actual call. And I'm going forward as soon as we break that 383.12. If we do not, then I'm not. Let's see what happens here, y'all. Rejection. Come on. Come today. See what our momentum swing's looking like. RSI looking good. Volume weighted MACD is showing a downtrend though, so that's a little concerning. Seems like we're having issues staying above 383. I'm only going to be watching this for a little bit longer. We'll go to the other trades here in a minute. So I don't want you guys to feel like we're wasting time just watching the SPY, because you guys can do that on your own time. I'm not here to focus on one thing. Outside of making money together. Alright, there we go. Confirmation. Buying my option to the upside. Market should reverse here. Wait, what? Oh, no. I'm going to have to get out of some trades in order to get it. Jesus. Where's my... Alright. SPY. What did I want? I wanted those right there. Give me that. Alright. Up and away. Look at that. That's what we were looking for. We got our confirmation. Moving to the upside. Looks like I need to... Why is my order not filling? It's at 190 now. Okay. 193. It's already jumping. Alright. Got my call option. I bought it right here, so we're going to be able to gauge it based off of that. Let's go ahead and look at other trades while I'm watching that on the sideline. The one that took the hit the hardest was ONTX, which is not great. Something I'm happy about. It traded down a little bit more this morning. Anybody got any other stocks that you want to talk about, finding potential position in and identifying our key levels here? I think that Pascal said he bought BNG. Let's see how we're reacting now. You're already up $1. Look at that. You found support. It found short-term resistance right here above the $10. As long as it stays above the $10, you're good to go, Pascal. Remember that. Then you'll be retesting the, you'll probably see some churn between the 10 to 11.17. But overall, I'm going to pull this back a little bit because we actually did some strong analysis on key levels and stuff here. Overall, I'm going to turn this purple so we can identify the fact that we looked at it tomorrow when we review this I think you have a strong gap back up to the 1162. That's what, almost $2.50 more than what you got it at. Be prepared to scalp some of your profits. I think that'll give you somewhere near about 18% probably on the trade. I had my spreadsheet pulled up here. Also, while we're taking the time, we have 10 viewers here. Thank you all for being here. This is slowly growing. I don't expect it to be something big. I like the fact that it is a lower count because we're able to have a very good conversation here. I've watched other live trading sessions, and it's just like the things just in the chat, and you can't actually talk to people one-on-one. So I like the fact that we have a low count here. But feel free to share this. Feel free to invite other people, whether it's on Facebook, on Twitter, whatever you prefer. The support is all I ask for. If you can like this live stream too, that also helps with the algorithm on YouTube itself to find, new members to join us every morning. DPW, gonna make it back up. DPW depends strongly on Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is showing a reversal to the upside. Momentum swing on the MACD. But even with that momentum swing, we've seen it before. Make sure that it's stronger. MACD signals to the upside. Volume is low compared to selling with this. So we're trading in between that levels. As you can see, the levels we identified this morning are playing a strong part in what's going on with Bitcoin. It keeps getting rejected at that 49,194 level. Let's see what this. I need to pay attention to the SPY on the side while I'm talking to you guys. All right, going positive on my SPY call this morning. But DPW depends strongly on Bitcoin. If you want to know what's going to happen with Bitcoin, DPW, pay attention to that. Would be my suggestion. What I'm going to do is reorganize some of this stuff. Now out of order. Bitcoin, and what I'll do is I will add all the plays that depend on something else like this. I wish I could add like a divider in this watch list or categorize it a little bit. I guess I can make other watch lists, but I like to look at them all in one place. EV plays, yeah, as you see, RMO broke down even more but this morning, but showing signs of a reversal now that Tesla is doing the same. Tesla is currently trading at 676. I think we saw some pullback on Tesla back to the upside yesterday, but that doesn't mean it's not going to continue going down. Currently trading at 383.51 on the SPY. We're breaking that level of support we were looking for. Breaking back above that level of support. We're back in our trend line based on that movement. I think it was a great time to buy into the SPY. Currently green on my calls. Looking for it to have some issues around this 38.7 or 387.51. I might pull out of the call altogether. Actually, I'm down a few dollars on my call. I wonder why. It's probably having some rejection. Let's look at it at a lower time frame. So this could have been a rejection here. Right above. Look at that. Finding that support above the 38.12. Let's see if we can stay there, though. Seeing momentum to the downside, though. Look at that. So, I do have this indicator here. It's called my trading log. I'll share with you guys. This gives us an overview of where the stock market is since yesterday is what you're looking at down here. Everything's down, of course, as you know. The VIX is down 4%, which is a good signal, although it's up 5% overall. Still, it was up like 10% yesterday. It's only up 4% since yesterday's close, if that makes sense. Normally, when we see a score of -7 or less, meaning like -8, -9, -10, we typically see a reversal in the market going through the day, which is why I said the markets were going to come up yesterday, and they did. They just gapped down this morning. Looking at the SPY, we're breaking those levels of support again. But let's see. Before I sell my call options, I have until March 17th, I bought a monthly call option. So I have 22 days for this to play out. I can lose money on the way based on theta, which I'll lose $9 on this call a day. Now $10 because the price is going down. It's fluctuating. I can show you that. Trade grid. Let me get this out of the way for you. Did I buy it on the 19th? Oh, I bought it on the 17th. I meant to buy it on the 19th. Jesus. Oh, well. That would have gave me 2 more days, about 24 days on the call. But this is to break this down to you, this is the open interest, how many people have it. I only buy calls that have more than 1,000. That means I can get out of it. It's only down 36% this morning based on today's price action. Your delta is how much money you make for every dollar that it goes up. And then your theta is how much money you lose for every day that goes by until the expiration date. Expiration date being March 17th. The strike price that I'm saying that it's going to is $3.95. So basically I'm placing a bet stating that the SPY is going to rebound to the $3.95 after this slight correction that we're seeing today. I don't think it's a strong sell-off. As you're seeing, we're finding the support that we identified earlier. We could add in what you call your gamma and your vega. Those also help you identify the fluctuations between your delta and your theta. So I'll explain that just so you don't feel like you're getting lost. And vega right there. All right. So basically what this is saying is for every dollar that this option goes up, I'll make $22. And then 2 cents will be added to that $22 for the next dollar. So if this goes back up to 383, I'll make 20 or 384, I'll make $22. If it goes to 385, I'll make $24. And then the gamma also picks up as it goes along as well. And as we get closer to this strike price right here and closer to this expiration date, theta is like I said earlier, how much money I'll lose per day. And then the next day, I'll actually lose $28 more to this contract. So it'll be sitting at like 36 tomorrow. So I'm looking for this to be a short-term reversal trade. And as you see, we found some support at those levels I identified. So I expect this to continue to the upside, even though we're seeing some small consolidation. Currently trading below that support right now. But it's finding rejections trying to stay below it, but momentum is showing it to the downside. So let's see what happens. Let's see if we stick to our trend line at least to find support off of it. So these are 2 different ways to analyze a trade based on horizontal price averages and then diagonal price, not price averages, trend lines. But BTC is breaking below 48,000. Holding strong though to the upside, finding support off of the that is the 34 EMA currently on the 1 minute. I don't like looking at charts from the 1 minute. I actually like looking at it from the 5 or 10 minute when I'm actively watching something move within a day's time. Currently down negative on my SPY calls, although the stock is coming back up. So, or the ETF. Not the stock. Anybody got any other questions about potential opportunities that you're looking at? Anyone know what the fuck happened to the market today? Correction happened. This is correction. This is overdue correction. The stock market, I want to explain to everybody, has been going up and not correlating with where Main Street is. And that's what's causing the issues that we will see moving forward, is the fact that we built this glass floor. And people have been so proud of doing that. And it's not okay. People made money on the way, but I feel like a lot more people are going to lose more money than they made, as long as they're holding on to this. Let's see. See what the SPY is going to do for us. All right, just went green. We're green. Let's see. Anybody got any trades you want to look at, or are we just gonna focus on? You guys want to focus on what the overall market's gonna do to kind of gauge what you're gonna be looking at going into the rest of the week. Now, one thing I want to point out, standing out to me about the SPY, we saw some strong buying spikes here, volume spikes. That's these green columns that you see in the back. And then we saw some rejections, large selling spikes. But now we're seeing it still pick up and momentum showing to the upside on the MACD. Volume weighted MACD is pulling back a little bit. RSI is looking pretty safe. We're still above that 38.12 or 383.12. Keep saying 38. Going forward, let's see what Tesla's doing. It pulled back to 668. Really looking forward to it coming up so everything else follows. I'm just focusing on overall market today. Same here. I'm doing the same. I want to identify re-entry points. I cleared out my entire portfolio. I am down about 3% right now. Oh, I'm sorry. That's wrong. I'm not down 3%. I am down about 20% going into market open. So I got some gains to pick up just intraday. But, we've been performing well here. So, pulling back 10-20% versus our 68% growth rate. We're still up 48% since December. Excuse me, guys. 1 second. Sorry, everyone. Had some guests here at the house. But looks like the SPY is pulling back up. We're headed back to 384. We could see some reversals going into today. Potential buying opportunities, but we saw the same yesterday, so be careful with that. We're seeing them earlier, which gives me a little bit of confidence that the market overall is coming back up. I'm going to log what we're seeing here so we can track the day. 30 or hour pass. I want to call it the market transition. And what this will do is it'll help me log going forward throughout the day on how the overall markets, whether it's continuing to the upside, and that includes the U.S. markets, international markets, how the VIX reacting. The VIX is a good way to gauge volatility and concern, investor sentiment. It's used to determine, if we're going to see a pullback, and the fact that we started seeing increases in the VIX kind of led up to the fact that we were gonna have a pullback, but look at that pullback. I'm glad we were able to see this in real time together to kind of identify our key levels in determining this pullback coming forward. Doing good on my calls right now, up 5%, between 4.9 to 5.2% on my calls for the SPY. So I can kind of recover some of those losses I took from this morning, moving into tomorrow. I'm not going to be greedy here. What I'm going to look for is at least recovering my account, so that I'm positioned as I was before all this occurred. So let's look at some of these stocks we've been watching. BGI broke down. Everybody knew that in pre-market, and now it's trading below that support level. We expect that to pull back to 147 if momentum, based on what momentum is showing. EMA is going red for the first time in a long time, actually, since it actually broke out. So we could actually see that retracement back to the 147. Be careful here. NXTD pulling back as well, going strong on the EMA to the downside. This could reverse. I'm not saying it won't. It could bounce back up to the 211, but what I'm going to watch and gauge this moving forward is how these EMAs react to it. I'm going to open this up a little bit so we can focus just on the trade. ONTX, look at that bounce back. I like that. Thank you. I needed it. Some confidence that the trade will go back to the 141. Might have some issues getting above it. Some rejections, but I do see it continuing back up. CLSN fell below its support level, but currently found support and back to the upside. Give me 1 second, guys. There are some stocks I want to look at. See how this is acting on the daily. Based on this dropout and reversal, the fact that it's still green today after today's pullback, I think this stock could potentially retest the 2250s. That's my first line. And then the next would be retesting this. So let me do this. See how that's correlated but with it before. Just going through and identifying potential levels here and seeing how it basically correlates with the rest of the price action in the stock. Diagonal trend shows this. Yeah, this could be retesting 2371 as we sit here and try to find opportunities going into these trades. I pushed this alert out yesterday, HTRG. And going to the upside. Oh, nope. See where we're at on the SPY. I'm going to step away for a second, but I'm going to keep this up for you to watch, so that our levels are identified for you to see. I'm going to pull some of these indicators out and just focus on the drawings and how the stock is reacting to that. I'm going to step away for just a second. If you have any stocks you want to look at, I know everybody's just really focused on the overall markets and knowing what's going to happen next. And I will be right back. I need to make more coffee. Alrighty, guys. Not the mic, baby. Got the little one with us. Let's see here. She's gonna be spending some time with us while we look over some more. My little prodigy. Oh, got the burpee. We're seeing where we can make some money, love. So, let's go down the watch list, see how some of these stocks are bouncing back for a minute. Let's see. NXTD reversing pretty strongly back to the upside from its lows at 151 or so. We got BGI showing more rejection off of that 205 after trying to reclaim that support. ONTX still pushing back to the upside. Looks like we might find some strong support on DAWW. It's the baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's a little munchkin. Say hey munchkin. Confirmed support on ONTX around the let's see here, 108 levels to allow it to continue moving forward. Steve Wall, what's he talking about? What y'all talking about in the chat? SNDL, where's SNDL? 125, yeah. Red Day. Talk to y'all later. Man, you have to be confident in the companies you invest in, and that's most important in situations like this when we see market pullbacks, and knowing that, okay, I know my key levels, I know what to expect if this pullback were to come. I think that's very key, and that's why I wanted to focus on this when I started this channel, is identifying that to help build confidence back in some of you all when it comes to these types of pullbacks. Looks like G-Tech finding resistance at the 1140 here on us. DPW all the way down to 464. Broke this support level that I would like to point out, at least right here, but back above it. Of course, everything broke support levels this morning, but you can see how we reverse back to the upside. You only take losses when you sell it. Keep that in mind. So you could have held on to this and recouped some of these losses that you would have took. You know, you could have been down going into pre-market this morning on OEG, and freaked out at $5 and it bounced back. You would have been, bounced back to 608. You would have only been down $1 versus $2 per share. These are things to look at. I mean, SCKT breaking below support, having issues getting back above it. This is why it matters, because now we can find where our opportunities truly lie. 126, I said earlier for SNDL. 121 was a key level. Finding support above it could be moving back to the upside. RMO dropped almost, 1150 from 1295 to 1150 after market open. Already back up about 50% of that loss. So things to keep in mind. BL&K dropped all the way to $32. Would have been a great time to buy calls on it. I should have bought calls on it versus the SPY, and I would have made much more money already back. Let's see. We're still having strong resistance issues at the 49,000 level for Bitcoin, but still finding strong support about around the 45,768. ZOM, let's see where we're at. Already back, recovered up near 60 cents a share. This is why these key levels matter, because even if we see a rebound at the same time, we could see a reversal at the support levels we're looking to keep that support at. PRVB pulled back on its most recent breakout to $16 this morning, pre-market. DNN pulled back to the 97-cent levels. I pointed that out. I forgot who suggested this trade. I said, watch out. That was a great entry point for you if you got into it. Unity pulled back, found support on the 100. Now trading in between that 109 level. I mean, precision on some of these is kind of crazy. This did not pull back as far as I thought it was going to. Palantir, I actually was reviewing yesterday, trying to give some people some insight on potential pullback in it. Not saying that the stock was going to die out completely. Yeah, Dada. She's just now starting to say Dada to me, so pretty happy about that. She'll say it every now and then. Tesla pulled back above our 681 levels after dropping to 620 this morning. Would have been a great opportunity to buy some calls on it, being up $73, $74, give or take. As you see, everything has the same trend. Snow broke 267 this morning. Support levels on its way to retest those levels, see if it becomes resistance or a support, continued support moving forward. APG's actually been one of our top performing stocks on our coffee and stocks list moving forward. But as you can see, it's seeing some pullback. I mean, it's just everywhere. I don't want to keep alluding to that. The only stock that's green on this list right now is ARCC and AMC. INF pulled back. I've been saying that Pfizer was going to continue to the pullback side. And then the SPY, of course, is back up to 384.50. I'm currently up 7% on that call. Nokia had some strong pullback, bounced back up to the 396. Still has to find support above the 416 before I find confidence in that stock moving forward. 1803 on ARCC held strong through today, and all the crazy activity looks like it recovered all of its losses. AMC, just because this was added to our list, is the only reason we're discussing it. Broke below that support level, but bounced right back above it. Coffee Daddy and stocks. Yeah. Say yeah. Coffee and stocks with Daddy. On his birthday. Say, that's what I get to do today. Chill with Daddy on his birthday. And relax. Find some money. I'm currently up 8% on my SPY calls. Feeling pretty happy about the reversal being identified that we were able to establish. I hope that was able to give you all some confidence moving forward into the rest of the week. The retracement was needed. The pullback, that is. I think we found that strong support on the 380 levels in order to bring this back. I was hoping to find actual support on the 383, which is actually the current support level. But it actually pulled back to our previous support level in this type of pullback. Currently trading back in the trend that we were in. I think it was a false pullback, more of a panic sell. This is how much people are scared the market's going to pull back. I think people are well aware of a pullback coming, or the need for a pullback coming, and that's why we saw this type of panic sell before, in pre-market. Moving forward, though, it looks like we're strong back to the upside, already back to 385. I'm up now, just talking to you, another 5% on my calls. I'm recovering I just recovered about 25% of my losses so far on the SPY. Simply making my SPY calls this morning, so I'm pretty comfortable with it moving forward and letting it run. Just as we speak, it jumped another percent. So we're back above 385. Had some resistance at 385.46 before, so let's see if that plays a part. If not, 386.50 is another level I want to pay attention to. So what I'm going to do is, where you going? Not doing back bends today. You're not taking my mic either. Daddy needs his mic. Okay. Let's see here. Come on. You want to play? Want to play a little bit? Huh? You want to play a little bit? I'm going to go refill my coffee cup real quick. Now that the coffee's made, if you guys can give me a sec. All right, to get back to it, currently up to 20% on my calls on the market pullback. We're at 345.48. I identified that we need to break above that level. We're doing so. This is confirming the pullback to the upside, reversal on today's pullback in the markets overall. We can look at my trading log and kind of gauge where everything is. We were at a -7 earlier. Currently at a -11. When it goes this deep, we expect it to pull back stronger. I'm going to go ahead and track that. I need to figure out, I think my cache is causing me issues, so I'm going to clear it out. And that will allow us to continue on. Should display it. Yeah, there we go. So as you can see, we started tracking the market about 9:30, and this shows you how much percentage wise we're back up. Our most recent track was at 9:48 just here a second ago. This is all Central Time, by the way. And the stocks, the stock market is in the U.S. is coming back up. S&P specifically, international markets showing reversal. The VIX is coming down, which is going to help us on the way back up. Crude only down -0.04% since we last tracked it. Copper down only another -0.02%. Now, what I want to do for you guys, since you're still here with us, is I'm going to share you my liquidity watch list. Let me get this out of the way. And this is important because we can go through this watch list and we can find opportunities for buying in on larger cap stocks that are now giving us opportunity to capitalize on this pullback. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double this window up and pull it back. Currently up 20% still on my SPY calls. Glad to see that. Recovered almost 30 to 40% of my losses so far. So let me see how I can do this for you all. Let's see how we can do this here. All right. I'm going to get rid of this watch list because we have one pulled up in our TDA account or Thinkorswim. And what I'm going to do is go down the list. We're going to find potential buying opportunities in all of these. I'm going to pull out my indicators and I'm going to pull out everything because we're going to analyze some of these things real time. So we already know where Tesla's at and what it's doing. Our key levels to pay attention to there. Apple. Apple is currently trading down over the past few days. And I want to identify this 123 level here as it has played as resistance before and then became support. Now playing as potential resistance moving forward. But I mean, it's Apple. It could break through this pretty easily. And as you can see, we're currently about 30 cents, 20 to 30 cents above it already. But let's see how it reacts to those 123 levels. Amazon, I think, has been a slow creep to the downside for some time now. But let's identify our levels just so we know if anyone's interested in buying Amazon at these current levels. 31.49, a new level of support we need to keep. Or potentially a new level of resistance that we need to pay attention to. Now, somebody brought up NEO earlier. Like I said, NEO, I've been tracking NEO. And I stated last week that if we break below the 54.20, then we were going back to 39.51. We landed just above that. And I think we're going to go back up to the upside as long as the market's continuing the trend that it's in. Let me see where that level identifies anywhere else to see if we could attract this any better. So probably around this level of resistance would have been a good place to track it better. And the reason I'm doing this is so that we can identify it in the future a little bit better. What you want to do with your horizontal price lines is determine basically how many times you want to find the horizontal trend that the stock price has actually hit and bounced off of or rejected from. So that's why I wanted to take the time to do that with NEO. Seems like 42, 45 was very strong support for it to rebound off of, even in today's pullback. We will be on track, it looks like, to break above these levels here now. I mean, this is something to keep in mind. These stocks do have to break through these old resistance levels once again before moving forward. And these levels actually played as levels of support before. So, to your NEO question, Shad, I think you're pretty safe. I think we identified that earlier that you were pretty good to go. I think your position's good where you were at. I hope you didn't get out of the stock just because the market was pulling back. And that's why I really wanted to take time for scenarios like this. I'm not sure if Shad is still here with us, but I wanted to take the time this morning to look at it because I saw the markets pulling back, and I immediately wanted to at least help people find confidence in what's going on in the market and where it's going moving forward, so they don't lose great positions and price averages in stocks such as NEO being in here at $38, just because the market's pulling back, panic selling and getting out of it and losing your price average. So I'm glad if you didn't, I'm glad you didn't, and I hope that we were able to establish some confidence for you to make sure you didn't. Currently trading at 385.60, well above that support level I pointed out earlier. I want to see how it reacts to the 386.49 moving forward. That will confirm that we're going back to the upside. Now, one thing that I'm looking for is, you see this compression right here, are the current trend, and this level of resistance that I just identified we need to break above. I'm looking for that to be the catalyst to break it out of this downward trend. If it breaks it out of that downward trend, we can expect the rest of the markets to follow. So even some of the stocks that we were down on, that we alerted on here at Millennial Investments, I'm looking to recover from some of those. Our entire portfolio was damaged by what happened today, but that occurs. It's not something that we have never alluded to never happening, if that makes sense. Naked, we're definitely getting out of. It's at 101 right now and has yet to recover. But anyways, to get back to this situation we have over here. Yesterday, I did a video on CCIV. It was somewhere right around here during trading hours, where I tried to let everyone know. I know that everybody's talking about this stock, but that doesn't matter. Buy into the expectation, sell the news. Before the news was even released, this was down to about $41 yesterday, pre-market. $20 less than where it was at when I was talking about it, give or take. And then it gapped down even more. I wish I would have bought. I don't even know if they have CCIV put options, but I should have. And they do. And some of them are up. I can't even see my percent. Let me add my percent in here. Oh, wait a second. Messing stuff up over here. Don't worry about it. But anyways, some of these are up. They're only up like 30%. I mean, it's nothing, phenomenal on some of these put options. But you would have did better on the spot. Do you think CCIV is by now? That's another thing too. Like, this was pumped up based on the merger news, right? The merger news was unfortunately announced during a market pullback, right? Now, future outlook is based on trend analysis. So I like to live in reality here, and I don't know if I'm comfortable with buying into something that's up this high, and the fact that they released this news and it didn't bring it up much higher, even though the market's recovering. Like, you're not seeing a lot of buying coming back into it. Everybody was buying into the news, and that's it. Everybody's playing these SPACs. I've been burned by SPACs because I'll buy into them basically on a reversal, and they don't even stick true to their reversal. But we can take some time to identify our key levels here. I already have some. I already have them identified. And as you can see, the 35.15 was a strong support level. Let's go in a little bit more in depth on the trade. It actually dropped a little bit below that because of the market pullback overall. Now, I'm not very. I'm gonna take some backlash for this. I'm not very big on SPACs because of the fact that I don't know. I don't think right now, because what I think is gonna happen is we're gonna hit this 34 EMA and bounce back to the downside. I'm gonna call that now. That's what I think it's gonna happen with CCIV. So we're gonna hit that line right there, and we're gonna bounce down. And I'm gonna turn that line red or this magenta to see if that occurs. But I think the news is done with, and I think people are making their way out of it. And I think everybody's made their money off of it, that I don't think they're going to look into getting back into it. Now, I could be wrong here, but that's just how I'm thinking about it. Let's see where we're at right now. Oh, yeah, is that right? Is that right? Yeah. You agree? You agree with that? Yeah? Okay. Let's see if we bounce off this 43.20 level and come back to the downside. Probably coming back down to $35 if we can't break above that. So I'm not getting into it. I'm not suggesting a buy on it either. Look for some bigger opportunities, though, long-term growth stocks that we can look at, using today's pullback to buy some great opportunities. Microsoft. What I want to make sure with Microsoft, it's Microsoft. So when I say, we're going to have issues with these resistance levels, most likely they'll be able to blow through them better than anybody else, unless just more and more news continues to contradict that statement. But as you can see, we're churning right here on this support level. We almost, I don't want to say we need to ignore the fact that we were below it, but the fact that we're back at it. I think things are going to settle out and continue moving to the upside. I think the correction we saw today is what we all have been expecting, if anybody's been expecting it at all. So I think we're to the upside moving forward as of right now, just from the signals that we're getting. We can look back at the SPY real quick. You see that? On a 15-minute time span, we got rejected at that 34 EMA. Now the SPY is trading lower. Let me check. I need to check the momentum now, because I might be closing my call option on it based on what's going on. What? What are you doing? Yeah. You want that toy? Yeah. Okay. But I need to check my indicators, because we could be losing steam here. Let me reset my chart. Open this up a little bit. Yeah. Let's see how we react in these next 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. EMA is going green on the 5-minute. Good signal here, but it's not uncommon, as you can see here, for it to go green for a second and then break back down. One thing that I'm going to stick to is the 15-minute, the fact that it rejected on that 34 EMA. So we'll keep watching that going into the day. Currently at 385.30. Going back to some of these liquidity stocks, where we're seeing all the money move in and out. Facebook bounced back hard after being down almost, what is that? Almost $18 or $8, excuse me. Not much for that. Nvidia. Most people would find this as a great buying opportunity for Nvidia. Long term, sure. Yes, I'm not saying that it's not. Currently is what I'm seeing right here. How it's going to react to that 558 or 557 level. It's currently trading above it at 558. If this acts as a level of support moving forward, great time to buy it. Only reason I would say not buying it right now is to find a better opportunity on the low side if things are to reverse based on the 15-minute rejection on the SPY at that 34 EMA. And that's what I was trying to allude to earlier, is you have to be careful. Just because you see this reversal, it can hit one of these EMAs on the 34 trend line or the 34 EMA on the trend line and reverse. So you have to be cognizant of that moving forward, and that's what I'm kind of watching for. But it overall, it's still providing wonderful opportunities to get in these larger growth stocks for longer term holds, better buying opportunities in some of these stocks that are heavily, PayPal's down almost what, $33, $34 or $44, $43. Great time to buy into it. PayPal's down because Bitcoin's down, by the way. PayPal has been a strong play ever since it announced allowing Bitcoin through its exchange, its transactions. What do I want for my birthday? I don't know what I want for my birthday. I really don't know what I want. Up 25% on my SPY calls, by the way. Let me talk to the wife for a minute. I see some of our viewers dropped off. I understand we've been going at this since 7:30 this morning. I know some people have things to get to. Some people are probably getting bored. If there's anything specific you want to talk about, feel free to let me know. We can look into those things. As of right now, I want to identify, we are retesting that 34 EMA. This will be a deciding factor on if the market is actually going back up to the upside or if it's going to be rejected here and pulled back down. I have recovered half of my losses this morning so far, just off of my SPY calls to the upside. So this is why I wanted to do this session and focus on it this morning, is so that you can see how to better gauge and deal with these situations, not panic sell. A lot of people panic sell. The more and more that we go through these live trading sessions and we do our trade reviews, I'm going to be adding more and more educational scenarios that apply to that. So some stocks I'll review that have nothing to do with our trading system or anything like that, but they're just certain situations where we can use them as examples for the future. And the fact that I've been working with someone in our investment community on Discord, and he gave me a risk management and then risk reward portfolio manager that I can use to basically gauge the value in my trades. It'll also provide me with how much of a position I need to hold in order to achieve a certain amount of profit or percentage gains on things and stuff like that. So our entire trade alert system in itself is about to change. We're taking a hit on our current system. That's fine. Everything's taking a hit. I mean, things that were sitting up to 150 to 200% is down below 100% altogether. But, that's just the market right now. Showing strong signals on the 15-minute EMA, on the 15-minute 34 EMA to the upside. It's currently sitting at 386.06, continuing moving higher. We need to retest the 386.49 to confirm that we are continuing to the upside. Hopefully that gives us the momentum to the upside to break through this trend, this downward channel that we've been trading in on the SPY, which can be seen here. So glad I made my calls. Glad I waited for confirmation on my calls for the SPY this morning. Wish I made more calls elsewhere, but I was more focused on the overall market, which I think everybody should be engaging whether or not they should stay in certain stocks or sell in certain stocks. One thing that I do feel like this was able to prove to us is the fact that the strength in the stocks that you have positions in and how they reacted to an overall market pullback can give you confidence moving forward and how well they'll perform for you. So overall, since pre-market, we're actually up on the 4 hour. Good signal to a true reversal to the back. Dad, huh? Dad, yeah. Dad. I'm probably going to be hopping off of here as some of our viewers have bounced out. Who all is still here with us? If you don't mind, let me know. I'm looking for my cell phone at the same time. Oh, somebody just joined us again. Who's all in with us? If y'all don't mind hitting that chat and letting me know, or whatever chat, if you're on our Facebook chat or not. Huh? Who all do we have here? All right, Miss Pandy. Do you pronounce that Bhagwati? Is that how you say that? Am I saying that right? Who else do we have in here as well, if you don't mind letting us know in the chat? What? What the hood? What the hood? Currently up 25% on my calls. Looks like we're having some pullback issues on. Let's look at the 15 minute. Still in an uptrend. Once again, that 34 is playing a strong part in identifying that rejection. Hopefully, okay. Glad to know that. Like I said earlier, I like to pronounce people's names properly when I'm addressing them. Let's see how we react to this 34 EMA going into the day, which is around the 385. I keep saying 38. 385.50. I don't know why I keep saying that, guys. Excuse me. I'm going to turn that green so it can identify, we're moving forward. I know sometimes this starts to look like jumbo that we're looking at when we're looking at my stock charts, but there's a reason it does, because I'm looking for all of these determinations to be confirmed for me to, build my confidence in however anything's moving. I see some more people are still joining in with this. If you're new to the chat, feel free to drop your name in the chat. Say hello to everyone else. If you've been here, thank you for coming back. If you would, show your support by liking the channel. Also subscribing to the channel. I meant to tell that to anyone else that was new earlier this morning. I'm not really worried about it. If they're interested in the information we're providing and it's beneficial, just show your support is all I'm asking. I couldn't ask for anything more moving forward. I don't expect to be on here too much longer. I'm going to let this confirmation go through. If we confirm, then I feel like my job is done in helping you build your confidence back up in such a red day. It's going to take some time to recover for some of these stocks, but this once again points out how confident you can be in the positions you've held. Even if you got out of them, you can still watch them. You can learn from these situations and learn from the mistakes made, or better opportunities that you could have made getting into these stocks and stuff like that. So I got some birthday wishes here. I appreciate you all for all the birthday wishes. I didn't even know it was my birthday until like Sunday. I think my cousin was talking about, in a few weeks I'm going to be doing that. And I was about to say, yeah, in a few weeks I'm going to be turning 29. And he was like, dude, your birthday's in 2 days. And I was like, man, I didn't even know that. All right, so we're retesting that 78. That's 385.7. What am I talking about, man? Now it's getting delirium. We're starting to retest that 385.81 and moving up. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, come here, you. Little precious. Little precious. Say hello. Say da. Say I'm with my da. But yeah, I'm gonna probably hop off here in just a minute. Looks like we're having rejection signals there. What are you doing, girl? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Yep. Looks like we're having some rejections. And I would like to point out, those are rejections from pre-market, where it gapped down, as you can see as well. Yeah. Ain't that right? Say yeah. Say that right. Yeah. Based on how it reacts to that, I will be closing out my calls and taking half of my losses here. Thank you. Appreciate it. My little pudding. Huh. My little pudding. Heading back up here. Let's see what happens. Once this confirms, then I'll probably be closing out this live stream just to let you guys know. I want to thank everybody for being here with me, spending some time on my birthday, of course, with you all, and my daughter and her little pumpkin self. But I'm glad we were able to, take this opportunity. I'm glad this happened so that we could talk about it overall. Like, I'm just really happy that we had the opportunity to see something like this occur, and hopefully help you better learn how to deal with the situation um, overall. So, you want to play? Mm-hmm. You want to play? Hmm? Currently up 25% flat on my SPY calls, looking strong there. I know that this is set to go off if we can break above that 38. 385.81. Sorry, guys. Anybody got any stocks they want to look at before we move forward? Now that the markets are correcting themselves, we're back to the levels we were pre-market, hoping to move forward back to the levels we were yesterday's trading session. If we do make it back to those levels, that is a strong bullish signal of a reversal from this slight correction that we've had today. Mainly this morning, it provided us with a great opportunity for some buying opportunities in some of the stocks you may have been looking at. I know we've been watching some of the stocks over the course of our coffee and stock sessions here over the past few weeks, and how they've been reacting to today's pullback. It's funny to see AMC at the bottom of the list down there. It's currently sitting at 709. I'm pretty sure this is a bunch of people trying to recover some of those losses they gained, but as you see, why identifying your key levels of support and resistance plays such an important part. We're finding strong resistance here, but I actually think it might find the momentum to break above it and continue moving higher. Seeing the pullbacks on this thing. I'm not promoting buying this stock. It's back where it's supposed to be, I believe, pre-pandemic levels, like I stated earlier. And I hate it for those that caught it at such high price points and lost the amount of money they did to it based on social movement hypes and things of that sort. But that's what we're trying to learn how to not do here at Millennial Investments, and finding the right opportunities, the right times to get in and out of situations, and how to deal with pullbacks such as this one, how options can help benefit you in scenarios like this, to recover your account. I recovered 50% of my losses just this morning, and I'm only up 25% on one option call. Currently 23% on that option call, 24 now, and so you see how it's moving. Looking for strong support at the 385.81 to confirm the movement to the upside on the SPY going into the rest of the day as well as the rest of the week. Something to keep an eye on, especially how it gaps up tomorrow. If it gaps down anymore, we might be around the 382 levels or even the 380s. And if we do that, then we are headed back to that 363, unfortunately. So expect more red days if that is the case. We can look at our overall log real quick and kind of gauge how the markets are recovering and whether or not they are. And as you can see, ever since 9:30 this morning, we have pretty much recovered all pretty well, about 1% overall is what I mean. And the U.S. equities and the international equities and exchanges. The VIX is down another 2.77% from this morning, showing signals of better investor sentiment to the upside. I can see the SPY. Good to see some stocks starting to turn green. Yes, of course. That goes for anybody, I believe. The SPY is retesting those 385 levels. It just was, at least. Found another rejection there. So we have to find the momentum to move forward. And it's okay. Having days like this is okay. Especially having a strong January. Maybe you want some of your toys. So, you win some, you lose some. We never guarantee everything that we push out here at Millennial Investments is going to be a full win. Sometimes we see strong pullbacks in some of the alerts that we push out before we actually see them perform. I can see a lot on the list we had from this morning is actually recovering above our 10% sell threshold, and I'm glad we didn't push it too soon to you guys. And that's why I wanted to review it real time so we could see the state that it was in the middle of that pullback. And now see them recover. So sometimes we see pullbacks in the alerts that we give before we actually see the full gains off of them. And the pullbacks are actually opportunities to buy them at better entry points than we provide to you. Yeah. I love you. Man, nothing better than that. So. Actually seeing some momentum loss in the SPY. Be careful with that. Like I said before, let's see where we're looking. Swinging pretty hard, but bouncing off the 34 EMA on the 15. That's what we're looking at right now. Sometimes I want to clean the chart so you can get a good view, but I'll just hide my indicators for now. But like I said earlier, that 385, I think it was 86 level, something we were looking to break above. That's based on the 34 EMA, not the top line resistance that we found going into today's market gap. Looks like I might be pulling out of my calls as I'm down 7% for my top line, 25% on it, waiting this through. I have, of course, 22 days to hold on this before it expires. So, this could recover all the way back at least to the 389s first, and then we're looking to bounce back to the 392. So $3 over the next 3 days is what we're hoping for. Every day, $3, another $3 up. We'll win strong on that. Even with our theta being at about $9 loss on the contract, if that makes sense. Because every dollar it goes up, it's $22. And essentially on that option call, just so you understand, that's $66 for every $3 it goes up. Plus you got to add in the gamma, which jumps it up about $2. So we're looking at about another $70 every day on the option contract if it jumps $3 every day to backfill these gaps that we gapped down on. So that's at least $240 on this one option, this particular option contract per contract you own. If you own 3 or 4 of them, then you're looking at $210 a day, losing about $27 a day on the option contract. So you're still net $180, give or take, every day for every $3 it jumps. So, I can make $300-400, recover all the losses that I had, and still profit from this gap down in the market as a buying opportunity for it to gap back up. We're currently at 384 though, which is concerning. This is something I identified earlier to you all, is to pay attention to the 34 EMAs on the 10 and 15 minute and how the stock price action reacts to that. We're currently trading at the lower 13-minute EMA. Let's see if we bounce back above that to find the true momentum to the upside. Let's bring in our other indicators in here so we can kind of get an idea. Our MACD showing to the downside. So to speak to what Bhagwati was stating, it's finally good to see some of these stocks turning green. We actually can see them turning back red here and I think it may be momentarily, excuse me. But hopefully it comes back to the upside for us moving forward off of this 13 EMA, which is about the 38.58. And I'm going to identify that level here. All right, here I come, baby. I got you. All right, guys. What I'll do for now is leave this running for you. I go step away for just a second. The stream's gonna stay live, so that you want to talk to people, say hey, say hey, say hey, say hey, say hey, say hey. Anyways, stream's gonna stay live. All right, we're already testing those levels, and we broke below it and back above it. Let's see if that becomes support. Hold on, baby. But I'll be right back. Get her situated. All right, so it looks like we broke below that 13 EMA. We could be pulling back some more here. Um, I'm still gonna hold on to my option calls because it's still in the green. I'm gonna go here on the 1 minute and the 5 minute to see what the momentum looks like there. Looks like we have a pullback. This is why I don't watch it on the 1 minute, because some would assume based on the MACD and the RSI that this is reversing, but it's actually showing signs on the 5 minute to continue pulling back to the downside. If it does pull back to the downside, I want to see how it reacts right here, which is near where I bought the option anyways. I want to see how it bounces off that 38.20. What I want to do while we wait for that confirmation to come through, I want to explain how we kind of find our stocks. We have a set of scanners that scan the market for confirmations and moves over certain time limits. We mainly focus on the 30 minute, the 4 hour. Let me see if this 4 hours even going to work. Looks like we're going to have some issues with that. So let me do this. What did I do with my TDA? Where is my... Pull the... nope. That's not what I'm looking for. Go ahead and close this out. And pull this back up. Yeah, so no. It looks like I might have to restart my TDA. I think or something. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pull back and restart it. While I'm doing that, I'll keep this live. Seeing some slight reversal off of that 38 and 384.56. Good signs that we could be coming back on the upside. Let's see what the 1 minute's showing us. It is showing that we could potentially pull back up here, but I really don't like gauging reversals off the 1 minute. I like watching the larger time frames because it gives you a sense of direction of where the stock or the market is going overall. One thing I want to confirm is what I stated earlier. When you see the RSI go oversold status, you'll see it bounce back up, but it'll drop back down. That's exactly what happened going into today's market. Let's see. Everything's showing the same signals. BGI showing signals of reversal from the bottom side. ONTX. See that? So we're following the market here. And Bitcoin ultimately following the market following Bitcoin. They correlate. Look at this. Everything. Same trends here, so something to keep in mind. Moving forward, this is all concern that the market was going to break down today. So everybody's trying to prepare for that. But it's finding those that are resilient in all of this price action that's moving. But, you know, you can look at this as an opportunity to buy into the market more. You know, finding better buying opportunities on the downside. Still positive 15% on that slight pullback down to the 384.56 levels. Now we're definitely retesting those levels. So All right, breaking below the 384.56. So let's see how we react here. Wait, you gonna come learn some stocks, stock market with daddy? But showing signs of reversal on the 1 minute, so we could see that follow with the 5. It might not even go red on the MACD, but for a little bit before. Can't pull the mic. Sorry, guys. Can't pull the mic. Can't pull the mic. Can't pull the mic. Oh. Little munchkin here. Oh, look at that bounce. Yeah, that's what we need to see. Strong bounce back to the upside. Still up 16% on the call. And I'm sure that's going to change here shortly. Nice bounce to the upside. That's what we wanted to see. But it has to correlate on the higher time frames. Okay. So this could be just a small dip before moving further, which is good. And what I was hoping to see moving forward. Oh, please. We're getting you something to eat now. Let's go get you something to eat. I'm going to go take care of her for a minute as we continue watching the markets today. I know a lot of people just wanted to focus on the markets. I'm not sure who's in here with us. If you'll drop your name in the chat or just I'm here to let me know who's still here. And if you're looking for any stocks that you want to look over and this opportunity to buy into them while I'm stepping away. Okay. All right. See TV. All right. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Let's see what Tesla's doing too, so we can keep track of that on our open crypto plays. Seeing some rejection, strong rejection still at that $49,000 level. Could potentially continue pulling back to the $45,000 level. The SPY is correlating with Bitcoin here is what we've been seeing. They've been on the same trend, and we can identify that by comparing the two. The fact that a lot of companies are buying into Bitcoin. Girl, what are we doing? Okay, you're not happy with daddy right now. And you can see how those correlate there. Currently up 18%. Cool. go back to Tesla real quick so we can look at its price action. Hit that 34 EMA. I'd like to identify that. That stands out to me very strongly. Finding support though right above that 38, or 681. I keep saying 38. Where's 38 come from? Anyways, moving forward, SPY back up all the way to 385. Found strong support off the lower EMA on the 13 in this time frame right here. So getting some confirmations that we're going to continue moving forward to the upside. Looks like we might be losing momentum on the 1 minute though. So let's see, 5 minutes still showing potential downward pressure. Still up 15% on the option call. Let's see what our 1 hour looks like. Large gap down, retested that level. I'm going to try to clear some of this up for us. I really don't want to. Maybe I can hide some of these things. Let me hide that one. Oh, no, I wanted that. Let me see, hide this. Go ahead and hide this for now. I need to pull up my TDA while we're doing this. There we go. Alright, got it back. And let's look at our potential. Yeah, I'm not seeing too many positions coming up in our alert system that is making me feel like there's anything to necessarily buy in right now, because that is based on a set of confirmations. If it doesn't meet that criteria, I don't pay attention to it. But I do continue to scour the market to see if there's opportunities elsewhere. And I'm going to do that right now with you real time. Let's see here. We want to look at our scanner here. I'll pull this over here for you so you can see it. And bloop, 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 bloop. Load this. Look at it from the 4 hour. Actually, let's pull back to the day. Let's see what pops up here for us. Down to 10% on my SPY calls. I'm guessing it's pulling back. Currently trading right at that support level. We've been hoping to find support above and trading below it. On the 1 minute, showing momentum to the downside. Looking forward to find that support around this area. But if the momentum is showing to the downside, we're just going to keep going downward. Things that pop out: CCIV currently down 31%, Riot down 23%, CCL down the same, negative 2%, excuse me. So let's see if we can find some opportunity in here. What I'll do is, I have this gauge to 25, so let me check my other scanners to make sure that we're set up properly. 4 hour, that's where we're basing it off of. So what I'll do is I'll switch my 30-minute scanner to focus on my daily chart. Maybe it'll scan some more potential opportunities that we may be missing here. Nope, nothing else showing up. Anyways, go back to the daily. We'll have to manually go through there and find some positions. That's all that means. Scan and then pull up my Let's do this. CCIV, you asked me earlier if this was a good time to buy into it. I said no, and this is why. As you can see, it's still pulling out. Back to the downside, broke all of its EMAs, so I see this continuing to test the 35.15 moving forward, and with this downward pressure momentum on the stock itself, regardless of what's happening in the market, I think it's going to break below those levels and continue to the downside moving forward. And that would potentially be around the $27 price levels before it levels out. Maybe could be even further than that. I mean, the stock's been doing pretty well. It's reclaimed all that progress it made since the 12th of February, which was about 11 days ago. So hate it for anyone that decided to hold on to this thinking that it was going to continue moving to the upside, and it did not. I'm going to pull up Riot, which is a Bitcoin play. I'm going to bring in Bitcoin so we can compare that to this. Bitcoin futures, Bitcoin USD. I use Bittrex for my crypto trading. We're going to add a new price level in there. As you can see, it's correlating with that precisely. As far as the pullback, Bitcoin now at about 47,448. So we expect Riot to continue coming down with Bitcoin. One thing that we do want to use Bitcoin for is identifying support levels that we may find moving forward. This could potentially come back to $39. The thing about looking at Bitcoin plays is the fact that Bitcoin has been known back in 2017, it hit 20,000 and then retraced back to, I think, like $5,000 areas and that price range. I'm hoping that doesn't happen now. Bitcoin is on a rise because of mass social movement, the fact that a lot more larger corporations are accepting it as a payment transaction tool, and then so a lot of people thought that Bitcoin is going to go to like 400,000 and stuff like that, or 100,000 and stuff like that, but and this all occurs every 4 years after the Bitcoin halving is what it's called occurs, which occurred back in May of 2020. You'll see the price of Bitcoin continue to the upside. Let me get my phone here. Is my phone in there? Did you see it anywhere? Appreciate it, bro. Goofy, man. Goofy. Bro, let me hit you right back though. I'm in the middle of a live stream. Alright, man, I'll catch up with you. Alright. Later. That was family calling. Wish me happy birthday. But Bitcoin ended up breaking out to 20,000 and pulled back to 5,000. So I want everybody to be careful and cognizant of the fact that can occur here, and if it does, then it's pulling down all of the Bitcoin plays in the stock market itself, just like Tesla's pulling down the EV market currently. And another thing to consider with the EV market and why it plays a part in Bitcoin is the fact that Tesla bought, I think they spent like $1.4 billion on Bitcoins, which was about 34,000 Bitcoins at $44,000. And it's currently only up $3,000. Now, if they captured their profits at the top, we could be seeing this downward pressure because of that. And if not, if they're holding on to it, that would explain why Tesla is coming down. And I think I just tied it up. I've been trying to figure out what's been pulling Tesla down, and it's because they have this large investment as a company in Bitcoin, and what that is causing is indirect price actions to force the EV market down. And as long as they hold that stake in Bitcoin and Bitcoin continues to retrace from these $56,000 levels, currently down almost $10,000 now. You see what's going on here. So that it all starts to make sense to even me right now as I'm sitting here talking about it. I didn't even think about that, and I've been wondering why. And that's it. So as long as Bitcoin's coming down, Tesla's coming down, and as long as Tesla's coming down, is bringing the EV market down. So that's something you'll see shift, is EV plays going down and Bitcoin plays going down in the actual stock market. So it just shows how all these things are tied and intertangled into one thing, causes such an issue. And Tesla is on the SPY. So that would almost be close to an explanation of what's going on with the SPY itself, with Tesla being one of the larger companies within that index. So that all makes sense now. And I'm glad we were able to sit here and go through today and process all this and figure out what exactly is going on with the market. A lot of people are asking why. I see it across multiple Discord channels, throughout Facebook, throughout my chats, and things like that. But something weird happening with the SPY right here, right now as we speak. Finding the strong support right here at the 384 levels, although it just broke below it. So let's see how it reacts. Let's look at it from the 5-minute. Going red on the MACD and working to go red on the 10-minute MACD, but still looks like we'll be trading on the low end of this channel, which still gives me confidence in retesting the the higher end of this channel, which is anywhere between the 387 to 388 levels moving forward. Currently only up 7% on my calls. I was up 25% at its peak. I held on to them because I still think the market's going to respond. But now that we're sitting here looking at it from the standpoint of Bitcoin and the effects it has on Tesla, which has its effect on the EV and the Bitcoin plays in the market, along with the SPY too, like you see how all this is starting to blend in together and make total sense. Key support to watch out for, we identified yesterday, but another one I want to point out is the 41.4K levels on Bitcoin, and whether or not it's going to find support around those levels. Currently sitting at 47.3K. Let's look at Bitcoin now. It's almost like we're in a market now where we just watch Bitcoin because it's having such a drastic effect on the markets itself, and then you can determine how to make your plays. And the good thing about Bitcoin is that it trades 24/7 every day. So even on the weekends, you can now gauge how the markets are going to react going into the week. We didn't have that before. It was just based off news and sentiment and stuff like that. But now we actually have a speedometer, if you will, to gauge the rest of the markets. So crazy enough, all these things have changed how the market reacts and acts entirely. It's crazy. Why am I looking at ZOM? ZOM broke that 194 level. Going back to 162. We can go back through some of these. I'm pretty sure we're going to see the same thing we saw earlier. So I'm still looking for an opportunity for us to hop into some of these trades. I'm not really finding anything with confidence. As long as Bitcoin's coming down, the rest of the market is. So Tesla down, CCIV down, ARK-K is down. ARK-K being a crypto ETF trust fund. QQQ not performing, of course. Nasdaq's down. SKN. Let's look at our trading log to see how the markets are currently positioned versus this morning. Still up from about the 930 area. Unfortunately, the VIX is picking back up. I'm going to go ahead and track this. We're at 11 a.m. Central Time, or 10:52 to be exact, Central Time. So I'll call that the mid-market period. Go ahead and clear our cache back out. Come back to our trading log. Alright, so now this is what this is used for. Not only is it a heat map, but it's to track the markets as we move through the day. Seeing some pullback on the S&P from 9:30 time frame, about an hour and a half ago, close to that. U.S. market's down, but overall we're up still 1.48% from let me see, we're up 1.59% from this morning overall, excuse me. So something to keep an eye on moving forward. Seeing it rebound back to the 384.30 levels, currently up 10% still on the call, so I still feel kind of safe here with the markets. We still have a few viewers in here. If you want to look at any opportunities, feel free. I'm scouring the market looking for them myself. So I have some tools I can use to do that on the side of what I use typically. Let me see if I can utilize them for us to find some opportunities now. While we have the opportunity to do so. What is it? 1P. SNSS bounced this morning, even with everything going on in the market. I would like to figure out why here. There's something I was just thinking, oh, I have an RSI scanner. That's what it was. And what that RSI scanner will do for us is find oversold stocks that we could potentially catch on the bottom. Let's see if it's still functional. Less than 30. CCIV. Huh. Funny. Let's look at it from the day. CCIV. Let's look at it on the 1 hour. That's the only thing that shows up. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me do all stocks too. Alright, some more opportunities popping up here. What I'm going to do is allow it to load for a minute so it'll tell me. CCIV has seen about. Alright, so here we go. There we go. Getting some numbers coming in. Let me make sure my RSI and a length of one simple less than 30%. Let me pull my gains out of here. That'll open up our list. There we go. And we'll open up our trading view. Oh. I want to keep this on the spot because that's a little more important right now for us. All right, put it on the 5-minute for now. We're going to look at these based off liquidity. I always sort my results based off liquidity, where most money is going into these stocks. I don't see how this is oversold. This is overbought. Less than 30%, less than 25 actually is what I would like. Why is it? Do I have my scanner messed up? All theirs maybe. Let's see. That gives us a completely different notion there. Make sure it fits our criteria before we get started. I don't want to be misleading here. PSN. Oh no, wrong window. Something's not right. She doesn't like it? $14. You got her in her seat? had it set up wrong. That's what it was. Let's see. 25. Okay, I think we're in the right area now. We'll do it off the 30. Maybe we could find some opportunities in here once this loads up. We'll go ahead and start looking at some of these. Okay. Go ahead and pull my watch list out. Pull this out. This is having some issues here. I'm gonna pull it out for now. All right, JKS, top of the list. See how we're doing on the 1 hour with this. Strong gap down going into the market open. Oversold is what we're looking at. We're looking at oversold opportunities right now to capitalize on. Funny enough, VTRS is one of our stock alerts, currently oversold, showing momentum swing back to the upside, heavily oversold actually. I actually said I wanted to do some research on why earlier. We'll be looking at that. VTRS. This was due to sobering guidance, deleveraging goals, down for largest percent decrease. Thank you for the birthday. Thank you all for the birthday wishes I sent them out. I appreciate it. But VTRS currently heavily oversold on the 1 hour and the daily. That's what this is based off of. Traded at these price levels before and found support right at that 1501 levels. AYX, let's look at how it's trending. 102. Ooh, pretty heavy. Look for some calls here, if anything. Let's see, let me pull this out. And then EBIX. Ooh, that looks like a nice setup there, if you ask me. Back to the upside. That is. Let me look up some news on it, make sure it's nothing wrong going on with the company itself. EBIX announced a shareholder class action. Oh, they had a class action lawsuit against it, and encourages investors with losses in excess of $100,000 to contact the firm. Gonna stay away from that. Don't really play class action lawsuits. APXT. One thing I'd like to note is just because you see our EMAs basically showing a downward signal, if they gap down too heavy, that could reverse on you pretty quickly. So something to be aware of moving forward. Heavily oversold even on the 1 hour. Looking for reversal on the 5 minute. So 1251 stock you could buy here, back to the upside. I'm looking at news now to make sure nothing was released. All good as far as news shows. Let's see how let's go ahead and identify our levels here. If you were wanting to play this trade, gap down this morning above its previous level of support. Looking for it to continue to play through those levels and retest them. Let's identify some more levels here. If it continues to the downside, we're looking at 1139 potential buyer. Oh, look at that, bounced right off that support level, even as it's gap down today. That's nice. See why these key levels matter. Looks like it's retested it somewhere in that area before and found some rejections. We could actually adjust it based on that because I think it's actually retested. Nah. Let's see. Yeah, right there. That's where I'm going to put it. Bounced right off of that a little bit this morning, so I think this is coming back to the upside. Good opportunity to buy into this around the 1250. Retest those 1321s for confirmation back to the upside and continue trading within this price range we can identify at the top level. Right there at the 1723. So I'm actually probably going to push an alert and a review on this one. I'm going to add it to my watch list here. Potential downward entries, and we'll track the trade. APXT. All right. More opportunities. Fizz, VIZZ. Had a great breakout to $100. Currently finding support above its previous resistance levels, or around that area at least. Probably had a stronger pullback because of this morning's gap down across the board. Finding resistance above that or below that now. Look forward to find the momentum. Let's see if we have any upward momentum on the stock. Currently, no. So, but I'm going to add it to the list because I think it's a great buying opportunity, being back to those retracement levels. I'm not saying that it's going to go back to $100, by the way, but I do look forward to it retesting these types of levels right here, around the 64.31 long term. Let me make sure there's nothing wrong with the stock as far as any announcements. No, so that's good. Another one, GE. Currently down about $3. Strong downward pressure. Let's see what we're looking at. Pull some of these indicators out. You can actually see the stock. I want to go ahead and go through here and identify some key levels. It looks like it hasn't really traded at these levels. I don't like this stock. Never has traded at these levels, actually. So on to the next one we go. Ooh, look at that setup. Look at that. Support there. Even if I were to use the current, it still correlates, so we can. Correlates very strongly with a level of support to buy into this at the 1050 areas, potentially retesting the, let me reset the chart, pull back a little bit. I'm going to try to identify the next key level of resistance based on how many times the stock has hit it the most. And I think this might be a safe level right here, 1576. So you have a $5 spread exactly on this. I'm going to add it to our list here. OSR. Before I do this, finding these extra opportunities, I'll put them in the description of the video itself. You guys can refer back to it. I will add it to our coffee and stocks list for review later, and we'll look at them, see how they reacted to today's downward pressure in the markets. Strong support around the 562 here, up $1.20 exactly from the rebound this morning, or beginning of February, I'm sorry. Let me see why it dropped, is the question. Other than that, I'm going to wrap this up. I've been going almost 3 hours yet again. Let's see. Concert has a price target to $22. Maintains a buy rating on the stock. Let's see. Let's identify our levels. Open this up a little bit more so we can do it on the daily. Or kind of give us some better viewpoints. I want to identify right there, 846. So you still have a near $2 jump on this. This could provide you with somewhere near 20 to 30% on the trade, but showing downward pressure right now. So let's see if we find some more buying opportunity between the 681 level down to the 562 for a potential re-entry with that. And I think I looked at CROC and didn't really like what I saw there. So I'm not going to add that to the list. But here's 3 stocks for you to look at: APXT, Fizz or FIZZ, as well as OSUR. For now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this so I can do some review videos on some trades moving forward. Commented. What? What is this? Oh, somebody had some reviews they wanted us to go over. SNDL, we can look at them. Man, it's not looking too good. I mean, it's finding support at the 121. RMO, let's see what it's doing. 1225. Bounced off that 1185 this morning's pullback. SOS, I did a review on last week. Broke that 880 level support. Almost broke the 714, but found support there and bounced back above it, trading between the 714 and 880. DSGT. Did pretty well in today, even accounting for today, and finding support right there. It's 71-cent level. ACTC. Support right here. Moving forward, let's make sure we stay above that. And then CCL. Could you look into QTNT for me? Yes, will do. No problemo. Let's identify something with this real quick. CCL, Carnival Cruise, basically. Even in today's price action, is doing pretty well. Had some pullback, of course, just like everybody else, but continue to the upside, finding support above the 225.39. I'm gonna add it to this list, potential entries, just to keep watch on it. And then Nikola, they wanted us to review Nikola. Of course, this is another EV play. You know what to expect if you've been watching the stream. But I would like to identify the fact that we are finding support around the $19.15 areas. 1915. Potential load up area right now. If we break below that area of support, our bottom line support is 1353. And let's see, but we would need to break the 1675 first. I'm gonna add that to the list in regards to Tesla bouncing back. And then QTNT, let's look at it real quick. This will probably be the last stock that I review, as I need to get on with the day and enjoy my birthday with the family. So I appreciate you guys sitting with us this morning. I'm glad we had the opportunity to do so. One thing that sticks out to me is this support level that we found here. Where is it currently trading at now compared to where it was? Looks like this is a key support level for the fact. Hush, Biggie. Biggie. Hush. Good load up area right now, if you ask me. As long as it trades above that 509 moving forward in the rest of the day. If it does pull back, we're going back to that 432 area, but let me see, because what happened here was we broke trend. The long-term trend of this actually became the level of resistance that it's playing in. And if I were to do something to this degree, I want to see how it correlates with that. So once again, we're below that trend. We need to pop above this. I don't know if you want to take a screenshot of this. I can actually shoot you a screenshot of it, so that you can keep it for your own reference. I'll add it to the chat. That's what I'll start doing. Giving you screenshots for the stocks you want to keep up with, so you know your levels to trade between. See how the SPY's doing? Yep, broke down, found support right where we needed it to. Still green on the calls, up 4% right now. I'm looking for this long term though, showing reversal on the 5-minute, what we needed. Moving forward for the rest of the day, showing some downward pressure on the 10-minute. Of course, the 15 and 30-minute are going to follow that. Actually showing a pullback to the downside on the 30-minute, but watch it on the 5-minute moving forward. As you see, it went red on us just in the time we were talking. 10-minute alluding to, yet another downward pressure move, but let's make sure we stay in this trend here. I'll share this screenshot with you all since I'm about to hop off of here, so that you can have it to refer to. This is the overall. That's kind of hard to decipher, so let me see, how can I do this to make it easier on y'all. Let me open this up a little bit, pull this down. I'm going to pull that Bitcoin out of there because it's only adding to it. Oh, the SPY was comparing to the SPY in that situation, but How can I share this with you all? What I'll do is I'll publish this idea. SPY support resistance levels, and you can use this to refer to later. Using this as metrics to measure future outlook and performance in the SPY. Futures, no, analysis. Oh no, I'm tripping. Trend analysis, chart analysis. That SPY analysis, trend analysis. Give me just a second, and we'll be done. I'll share this with you guys, and you can use this to refer to. But I think this will let you do it without having a TradingView account. Let me see. I'll try it in incognito. See how it shows up for you guys. So all you have to do is press this play button. Oh, it doesn't let you do it without having an account. That sucks. At least you can refer to it and see where it's at. I'll do an update on it if I need to. But for right now, guys, y'all have any questions, any feedback you want to give us about our coffee and stock sessions before I hop on in here, off of here, and while I still have you all? Currently trading at 382. I'm going negative on my calls. Might pull out of this. Might hold until 380.46 and see how it reacts. If we have downward pressure beyond that, I'm selling my call. I was hoping this would not happen. Expect this to bring down the rest of the market if it continues. Be sure to bookmark any of the links that I've shared with you. Be sure to connect with us on any of our social media networks that we have listed in the description of this video. Also, please be sure to like the video as well as sharing it. Most importantly, to show your support and helping us build this community here, this conversation that we're currently having. Appreciate you all for being here. If you have any questions, feel free to comment now, or you can also come back and comment below. What I'm also going to do new is with all the trade review videos that we do, I'm going to create a daily playlist and just share that link moving forward, so I'm not constantly bugging you with multiple video links, and you can just go to that playlist, overview some of the trades that we look at, and go from there. Looks like we're having some pullback. Thanks to him. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you all for your participation in this session. I'm glad we were able to go through a moment like this in the market where we're seeing these pullbacks. I'm glad we were able to figure out why the markets are moving. I think we have a better idea. Watch Bitcoin, because Tesla relies heavily on Bitcoin, and Tesla is now a part of the S&P. So with Tesla coming down due to Bitcoin retracing, the EV market's coming down with it, the Bitcoin plays are coming down with it, and it's bringing the SPY down, which is causing the rest of the stock market to come down with it as well. A lot of the social movements have caused issues as well as far as volatility in the market. That's something to consider. So a lot of things are causing issues with the market overall, but at least you have now a new gauge to see where the market's going as far as the S&P 500, as far as Bitcoin's concerned. So use that as your measurement tool, even when the market's closed after 7 p.m. Central Time. And before it opens here, I think at 4 a.m. Central Time, you can at least use Bitcoin to know what to expect going into the next day. As long as Bitcoin continues retracing, we suggest doing shorts on some of your plays to catch money on the downward end and hedge your current positions, make more profits on the way down while you may be losing. What that means is you may be losing value in equity stakes, but gaining profits in the puts that you're hedging your stocks with, to then take those profits and then potentially price average down those stocks. That's a safer bet to us on the way back up, of course. And then even using your initial money on the calls to call it on the reverse to make money on the upside too. So you might be able to recover some of your losses in that form or fashion. I actually just went positive back on the S&P, currently 5% up. I was just down 5%, so 10% jump there, just based off this reversal from that 38.12 price level that we identified earlier. Came in, became strong support. That's what we wanted to see moving forward, and that's what you can expect in the market, is bullish signals back to the upside, although we are in a downward triangle. Keep that in mind. Watch out for Bitcoin. Watch Tesla is bringing down the rest of the SPY. The SPY is bringing down the rest of the market, causing a lot of panic selling, causing a lot of concern. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you participating. I appreciate all the feedback, all the participation. If you have any questions, feel free to connect with me directly on our social media networks, like I said before. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe if you find any of this information beneficial to your trading and investment decisions. That's what we're here for at Millennial Investments. Please keep an eye out for our mobile app coming soon, to make our information deliverable to you a lot easier. Other than that, thank you all. I'm going to go enjoy my day now, and y'all have a good one. Good luck.